7 o'clock, we have a quorum, please stand with the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Mr. Morgan, you got an announcement?
I'd like to announce that we have 2 guest attorneys tonight, Blake and I believe Reed, right? Okay, and then Haley is on the phone online on the video. So, thank you.
Good coverage tonight.
Yes, sir. Fortunately, I got nothing else. I'm just waiting because I'm coming up next.
First item on the agenda is approval of minutes from the June 18, 25 meeting. Everyone had an opportunity to review those minutes. Any comments? A motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Gerald.
Second.
Second, Mr. Chatham, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0. Any public comments, Mr. Morgan?
I've had no request to speak tonight.
Okay. First item on the agenda is Epic renewal, insurance renewal, Mr. Parley and Mr. Morgan.
If it's all right with council, Mr. Parley, I'm going to go ahead and take the lead on this tonight. John, if you might want to make yourself available for questions. Thank you. It's John Parley with Epic Insurance. We hired John to be our agent of record, and he's brought us some proposals from different companies. We met yesterday, a small group of us. We've been myself, Will, Barry, Carrie, Mr. Gerald, and Mr. Chatham. I apologize, Greg. And so we looked at the proposals as they were submitted, and we believe that our best options are to stay with the Astra for liability, but carve out the crime portion, which would be removing $1,639 and moving that over to Chubb for a cost of $1,816 based on their services and what that they provide. And then go ahead and renewing with IPEP as our workers' comp. I will say that Mr. Parley negotiated with IPEP and got us a reduced rate, a substantial reduced rate, based on our current claims, I believe it was, John. Is that right?
Where'd you go?
And see, I'm up here alone, I get it.
Why don't you come on up, Mr. Parley?
So the renewal would be $337.22 on the liability, $1,816 on the crime policy, and $83,346 for IPEP. Total package would be $422,384. Then we obviously have a broker's fee that we have to pay. So our total renewal is $457,384. And I'll let you ask John any questions you might have, but those are the recommendations of the committee.
Comments, questions?
I don't have any questions, I just got a comment. Thank you for coming in and doing that yesterday. You were very thorough, you gave us great options, you flooded us with information. I really appreciate that yesterday, thank you.
Well, and thank you for putting up with it. It was a lot of information, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
I got some comments, Chris. Thank you for doing all that. I know it took a lot of time to put that together. That was a very good presentation. Gave us a lot of information. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I addressed the committee, I wasn't there, but you guys all say this is the way to go.
I tried to give you credit for being there.
No questions here, so I would entertain a motion.
I will move to accept the insurance as presented.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Irby, second by Mr. Chatham. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Next up, our looking ahead for fire department. Chief Duncan.
I made one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. President, Councilman. Tonight I'm presenting the descriptions and estimated costs for major expenditures projected for the 2026 budget year and beyond. Each of you have received a copy of the budget form provided to me by Mr. Potter. The easiest way for you is to follow along vertically by year. I also have a corresponding slide presentation. You're welcome to follow along visually while using the form for reference in the future. This presentation outlines a critical roadmap for the future of our fire department, focusing on infrastructure, fleet expansion and upgrades, and staffing needs. These investments are essential to maintaining high service levels as our community grows. Again, we're focusing on the infrastructure, fleet expansion, and staffing. In 2026, for infrastructure, we're going to construct a dedicated training facility. You can see the land acquisition and potential building costs associated with that. Also, 26, relocation and construction of a new Station 192. These initiatives are driven by data and projected growth, ensuring the optimal station placement to better serve the community. This is not the actual firehouse, but it's just a fill-in picture. But those are that's the land acquisition costs and building costs. Also, for the fleet in 2026, we're going to replace ladder 191. We're going to replace engine 192. Replace tanker 191, and there'll be no staffing changes. It's already set for the current 2026 budget. 2027, for infrastructure, there'll be no changes. And for the fleet, we're going to replace engine 191 and replace medic 191. And for staffing, we're adding 9 firefighters. In 2028, infrastructure, we're going to rebuild Station 191. The land acquisition is there from what we paid already. This next slide shows you that area that we have. And then this is the, again, not the actual picture, but the projected building cost. It's a smaller firehouse. There'll be no changes to the fleet, and for staffing, we will add 9 firefighters that year. In 2029, there'll be no infrastructure changes. For the fleet, we're going to replace Battalion 190, and for staffing, we will add 6 firefighters. And those firefighters correspond with the 5-year plan that I started with, just in case you remember. In 2030, infrastructure will be the construction of Station 193. That's land acquisition and building costs. For the fleet, we're going to replace Medic 192. We're going to add Medic 193 and add Engine 193, as well as staffing of 18 firefighters for the new firehouse, Station 193. (2031) and beyond for infrastructure, construction of Station 194 and 195. For the fleet, the addition of Ladder 194, Engine 194, and Medic 194. The addition of EDO 190, the addition of Engine 195, Medic 195, and Safety 190. For staffing, we will add 30 firefighters for Station 194 and 18 firefighters for Station 195. This long-term plan is designed to strengthen our emergency response capabilities, modernize our aging fleet, and ensure appropriate staffing levels that meet the demands of a growing community and evolving public safety needs. Please keep in mind that this plan is fluid and will continue to be guided by population growth and property development. This concludes my report. Thank you for your time. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Questions? Discussion?
It's gonna take a little time to digest it.
I know how to get a hold of you.
You do. And again, like always, give me a call.
Where do we stand, Chief, on just the fire territory and approval there? As far as I know, DLGF still is not approved.
Yeah, we got I got an email today from DLGF. They had some questions. I'm not sure exactly on the other end what was turned in through the attorney. So I had to define some different things. They were asking for justification because when they look at it, they're only seeing Center Township's budget for fire, and it looks like we're making a huge jump. They don't see the town side of it because it comes out of the general fund. So I had to go through and explain that to them, and then they were using our slideshow to make their determination. So I sent them all the documents that they should have had, that shows, our progression, like I said, adding 9 firefighters next year. That's in the current projected budget for next year. And then the following years of 9, 9, 6, and then like we talked about the 18 and 48. But I sent them all that information today, so, they're at least looking at it, they had some questions, and hopefully we answered all their questions today.
So there's no reason to believe it's not going to be approved and move forward.
I don't think so. I think they were just looking at this big jump from what Center Township has in tax levy to what I'm asking for as a territory. It looks huge, but again, they're not factoring in the other half that comes from the town. So there's a lot that comes from the town that doesn't, I don't see, right? So for instance, payroll, when we do payroll, my payroll stops once I get past salary. And then it all comes from the town for, the FICA, the Medicaid, Medicare, workman's comp, the insurance, PERF, all that stuff is not creating my budget. So my budget looks a lot smaller than it really is because it's coming from different places. But what we've done and what you were presented and what we gave to the taxpayers, the DLGF, that was for asking that 53 cents was showing that, the town isn't going to pay what I call the other half. If we pay someone $100,000 a year as an employee, it costs us $200,000 to employ them with everything on the back end. Well, my fire department budget right now doesn't show the back end. It shows on and carries general fund. So I had to just explain that to them and show them what last year's true budget was and or this year's true budget and what 24's true budget was. So they have a better understanding that it's not just a small amount making a huge leap for no reason.
So assuming that moves forward, all of this will then go to the fire board for initial review and come back to us for final approval. Is that not correct?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess, Chief, when I look at this, one question is, where's the money?
Well, again, with the industry coming, with building, with population, that money comes, it just comes in the rear, right? So it's not like we're gonna go out and build these firehouses tomorrow if the money's not there. Like I said, it's fluid, it's set up to shift to the right. For example, this year I asked for 6 firefighters and a 3% raise. We got 3 firefighters and 3% raise. Those 3 firefighters shifted to next year, that's why there's 9. So if I can only hire 3 next year, that's 6 of those are gonna shift to the next year until we get to where we need to be. So eventually, we have to have a long-term plan, but if we don't have the population, the growth, and the money to build 5 firehouses, we're not gonna do that. But we'll always be behind no matter what, and we're behind now.
I agree, we need the long-term plan, but we need it for the town as a whole too, so, but yeah. All right, any other questions? No. All right, thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Next up, proclamation, Mr. Morgan.
Come before you tonight for a proclamation designating the month of July as Park and Recreation Month. With your permission, I'll read the declaration for the proclamation. Okay.
Yes, please.
Whereas Parks and Recreation is an integral part of communities throughout this county, or this country, including the town of Danville, Indiana. And whereas Parks and Recreation promotes health and wellness, improving the physical and mental health of people who live near parks, and whereas Parks and Recreation promotes time spent in nature, which positively impacts mental health by increasing cognitive performance and well-being and alleviating illnesses such as depression, attention deficit disorder, and Alzheimer's. And whereas Parks and Recreation encourages physical activities by providing space for popular sports, hiking trails, swimming pools, and many other activities designed to promote active lifestyle. And whereas Parks and Recreation is a leading provider of healthy meals, nutrition services, and education. And whereas Park and Recreation programming and education activities such as out-of-school time programming, youth sports, and environmental education are critical to childhood development. And whereas Parks and Recreation increases a community's economic prosperity through increased property values, expansion of the local tax base, increased tourism, the attraction and retention of businesses, and crime reduction. And whereas Parks and Recreation is fundamental to the environmental well-being of our community. And whereas Parks and Recreation is essential and adaptable infrastructure that makes our communities resilient in the face of natural disasters and climate change. And whereas our parks and natural recreation areas ensure the ecological beauty of our community and provide a place for children and adults to connect with nature and recreate outdoors. And whereas the U.S. House of Representatives has designated July as Parks and Recreation Month, and whereas the town of Danville recognizes the benefits derived from parks and recreation resources, now therefore be resolved by the Danville Town Council that July is recognized as Park and Recreation Month in the town of Danville, Indiana, proclaimed and signed the second day of July, 2025.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Motion, discussion? Would entertain a motion?
Make a motion that we approve the proclamation of National Parks and Recreation Month.
Motion, Mr. Chatham.
Second.
Second, Mr. Gerald. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0. Thank you, Mr. Morgan.
Thank you very much.
Next up, Ms. Trinity, you have the next hour.
5 minutes.
That's funny.
5 minutes. Okay, if you don't mind, instead of, I mean, you can vote on separately, but I'm going to discuss the ordinance and the resolution as one, since they are, they do go hand in hand. So, the first one is Resolution 10, and that is, I'm here to present the fiscal plan associated with super voluntary annexation. It's about 5.53 acres. It's located at 1996 10th Street. Property owner is Kevin Jones. The annexation, all the property owners have been notified. They've met the requirements for public hearings. We feel like it meets the town's comprehensive plan, promotes orderly growth, and brings long-term benefits in terms of tax. One thing that I wanted to mention, this was introduced on June 4th. Public hearing was held on June the 18th. It's found to not have any adverse effect on the town's fiscal body or any other adverse impacts. There you go.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna present them all at once. You want to wait and vote on them?
Just this one, just this location. So it's Resolution 10
Okay,
and ordinance 12.
okay. Entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 10, 2025.
Second.
Motion, Mr. Gerald, second, Mr. Irby, all in favor? Aye. Motion carries 4-0.
Okay. The next one is Resolution.
Hang on a second.
We gotta do
Oh,
the
We have to
I'm
do
sorry.
we have to do the ordinance as well.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance 12, 2025.
Motion, Mr. Gerald, second, Mr. Irby, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0.
Thank you.
Okay. The next one is Resolution 11. This was introduced on June 4th and public hearing on the 18th. It has met all the statutory requirements for public notice. It is 1.7 acres located at 1984 10th Street, which is just to the west of the previous property. This property is owned by Garrett Brown. We've gone through the fiscal plan. There's no adverse impacts on the town of Danville for services.
Questions? Motion.
Make a motion that we accept resolution 11, 2025.
Motion, Mr. Chatham, second. Second, Mr. Gerald, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0.
Make a motion that we approve the ordinance 13, 2025.
Motion, Mr. Chatham,
Second.
second, Mr. Irby, all in favor? Aye. Motion carries 4-0.
Okay, last is Resolution 12. And this is for property located at, this is actually two properties. There is 2 parcels. It's in a subdivision. There's one lot in between the two, but they're owned by the same person. This is at
205 and 239.
205 and 239 South County Road 200 East. We did your fiscal plan, it's met all the statutory requirements as stated in the previous items. This is about 3 acres, approximately 3 acres. The property owner is Zing Zing, and It was introduced on the 4th, public hearing on the 18th, and it's pretty much the same as the previous ones. Just different location.
Questions, discussion? Entertain a motion.
Move to approve resolution 12/2025.
Motion, Mr. Kirby.
Second.
Second, Mr. Shadow, all in favor? Aye. Motion carries 4-0.
Move to approve ordinance 14/2025.
Motion, Mr. Kirby, second by Mr. Gerald, all in favor? Aye. Motion carries 4-0.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Down to staff and council comments. Mr. Morgan.
I have nothing further to report today, thank you.
Mr. Lacy? Nothing. Ms. Lofton?
Nothing.
Anything from legal?
Nothing here, thank you.
Mr. Gerald? Mr. Kirby? Mr. Chatham?
No, I just kind of wanted to thank everybody for doing their jobs. You know, it's hot out there this week, so thank you guys for being out there and doing what needs to be done. Taking the couches out of creeks, everything else for Will, but yeah, thank you guys.
All I have is a special thanks to Mr. Gerald, Mr. Chatham for taking time yesterday to meet with the insurance folks and town management to come up with a good insurance recommendation for us. Make that process simple, so thank you. Claim docket. Mr. Irby, this is your.
Move to approve the claim docket in the amount of $737,573.71.
Motion by Mr. Irby, second Mr. Gerald, all in favor? Aye. Motion carries 4-0.
Move to approve payroll docket.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Irby, second Mr. Gerald, all in favor? Aye. Motion carries 4-0. Motion by Mr. Irby,
Second.
second by Mr. Gerald, all in favor? Aye. Motion carries 4-0. And I remembered the hammer tonight.
Thank you very